Hello Commanders, my name is Synaptics. Next up you're listening to my track Lave Station Observation Deck. If you'd like to listen to more of my work, please visit synaptics.com, synaptyx.com. Fly safe and enjoy the show here on Lave Radio.
Hey, this is Commander Third Eye, and you're about to hear my new track, Superintelligence, taken from the album Singularity Rising, which is due for release on Second City Records on the 4th of April. To follow my work, go to soundcloud.com/Third Eye Trance and hit follow. Fly safe and keep it locked into Lave Radio.
life like this? It could be like this. Like this. Warning, depressurization alert. Warning, depressurization alert. Warning, depressurization alert. Warning, depressurization alert. Warning, depressurization alert.
Astrogator Tours. Put some excitement back in your life. Book an adventure in the Lave Business Director. Now.
Imagine if you were born into a dismal world where routine can drag you down, down, down. Somewhere where the very journey of life could become something that you must humbly suffer. At Sard Kruger, we aim to make every trip, every flight, every dream a moment of magnificence and bliss. We craft and design. We meticulously sculpt each ship so you're free from the drudgery and banality of the masses. Choose from the sublimely simple dolphin, the refined yet roguish orca, or the monumentally modest beluga. Each ship is a masterpiece, a shimmering dream of opulence and taste. Fly a Sard Kruger, because life should run like clockwork.
Lave Radio, broadcasting to every corner of the galaxy.
Shield at 14%.
Thanks for the warning. But I can read. Space. These guys are going to gank me.
Incoming communication.
Open a channel.
Feeble pilot, you will surrender your craft to us or face destruction.
Well, I could, but there's at least one thing my craft does better than yours.
Oh yeah? What's that?
Braking. Now I've got you. One down, one to go.
Alert. Escape pod alarm. The commander requires rescue.
Somebody else's problem.
Incoming communication.
Go on then. Keep them coming.
That was my brother, you son of a spacer.
And his bounty will be very useful.
Look, there's two ways this can go. So how about we call a truce so I can pick up his pod?
How about no?
Alert. Escape pod alarm. A commander requires rescue.
Yeah. They can keep each other company until some other sucker comes through. One more bounty in the bank. Good.
Updating Elite Federation of Pilots record. Your combat rating has increased to below average.
Well, don't let my official record fool you.
Congratulations. Commander Thane.
Amid the stars in the sky, humanity expands and thrives as it pushes back the boundaries of the universe. From the luxury of the core systems to the harsh worlds of the frontier, men still fight. Some fight for survival or greed. Some fight for a flag and others for retribution. But across the lonely darkness, they all share one aim: to be elite.
Curiosity, an elite dangerous audio adventure serial written and produced by Christopher Jarvis. Series 2, Episode 1, Trading Run.
Computer, give me distance to Duval Terminal.
2.6 AUs to target and closing.
A long way to go yet. I hope Kurlek was right about this trade run.
New radar contact.
Space, not more pirates. No, wait. That's a transporter.
Incoming communication. Incoming communication.
Yeah, I hear you. I'm trying to lay low here.
Incoming communication.
All right. Open a channel.
Greetings, trader. Welcome to Horse. You doing any business today?
If I am, it's my own business.
God, don't be like that. Did you have a rough time coming into the system? I can understand you being suspicious, but look at my ship. Hardly a match for yours.
Who are you?
I'm a trader. Honest as the solar year is long.
I'm not buying anything.
Well, I am. It's a long way to the nearest planet with a space dock in this forsaken system. If we can make a deal right here, why? Horse 5 is right below us. You could fuel scoop that bad boy and be out of here without going near the inner planets. I get a profit, and you save a long and hazardous flight. Now, can I say it any fairer than that?
Keep talking.
I'll ask you again, 39. Where is the fugitive pilot, Commander Fenn, and the prototype child known as May?
We don't know, Matriarch. We thought they'd both been killed in the wreck of the Imperial Destroyer Valiant, along with the thief Kurlek.
But Fenn's ship left an outgoing hyperspace signature in Facis. It was only through intercepting an Imperial communication we discovered it.
The debris from the Valiant masked my scan.
And the child has been seen bartering for transport as far away as Beaumont.
Her movements were erratic and inconsistent. We can't work out where she's going.
This is not good enough, 39. We expect results, not excuses. If the prototype has been to the Valiants and survived, she may have uncovered information about her father. Information that could endanger our plans.
Forgive me.
Forgiveness is earned, 39, not given. Now, what is your purpose?
I wish to share my darkness.
And what do you seek?
I seek my guiding light.
Very good. Now, let us put your failure behind us and return to the matter at hand. We must find a way to deal with the prototype and, if necessary, the pilot Thane. Are they still together? Well?
I don't know, Eminence.
No, please. Daddy? Where am I?
This is your new school, May. It's your first day.
I don't want to go in. It feels cold.
It's okay to be scared, May. We were all scared once. We have to learn.
Why do we have to learn?
Because we all have a purpose. We all have a destiny we can never fulfill unless we learn and train. Knowledge is power, May. And power negates fear. How is school going, May?
I feel like I've been here forever. The lessons cram into my head. My skull hurts. They're hurting me.
Stay strong, May. You can look after yourself. You have the skills.
Wait, this isn't right. I ran away from school. I saw your ship. They said you were dead. You'd been dead for decades. Where have I been all that time? And I had a sister. My sister, she killed that woman. She breathed gas over her and she just burned away. Why did she do that? How did she do it?
There is much that will be confusing, May, but I need you for a special purpose. Can you do that for me?
I think so.
Your lessons are a lie, May. The people who gave them to you are trying to do terrible things through you. You must fight them and find a way to resist.
What can I do?
You are my daughter, and only you can save humanity from a terrible fate. Finish your lessons, May.
What?
Take the skills that they give you and turn them against your masters. It's very important. Finish the lessons, but disregard the message within. You must finish your lessons. You must finish your lessons. You must finish your lessons.
You must finish your lessons. You must finish your lessons, May. Where are you going? You can't run. We aren't finished with you. You do not have permission to leave. You must finish your lessons. You must finish your lessons. You must finish your lessons.
Stop! 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 Not again.
Ship-to-ship seal established. Hatch opening.
Greetings, Commander Thane. Are you going to welcome me in, friend?
Thane is fine. There'd better not be any funny business.
Friend, if there's one thing I can take seriously, it's business.
Step inside.
Well, I'm Commander Reeves, but you may as well call me Great. So, this is your ship. It's a bit close in here, isn't it? Stuffy like.
The life support system needs an overhaul, hence the trade run.
You've got all kinds of junk lying around your cargo bay. Hey, isn't this a girl's dress? You keep company on this ship between trips, or are those little outfits your way of entertaining yourself on long flights?
I used to travel with some people. They became a liability, so I ditched them.
Just like that, eh? I hope you're not going to try and sell me any crates of unmarked fertilizer. That'd be cold, friend. Even for my money. No passengers cabin. Hammer slung between two coolant pipes. Sleeping rough like this, I wouldn't be surprised if they ditched you.
Do you want to trade or not?
All right. Just enjoying a bit of company. What brings you to Horse?
I'm carrying industrial parts out of Ioneth.
Nice run. You know your market.
Kerlek told me... That is... A friend gave me a tip-off.
Generous friend. Mining systems like this always need spares for the big drills. Especially now. Ioneth, you say?
Yeah.
Imperial stuff is nice. A bit ornate for my taste. Well now, it's your lucky day. Because of the shortages, I can offer you as much as 180 credits per crate.
Sorry, too low. I have to make some serious upgrades and I'm expecting big demand in the inner systems.
Okay, tough crowd. How about I go to 200?
Look, this was a good idea, but I don't think we've got a deal at these prices.
Alright, how about we do this differently? Now, why don't you turn over your cargo and ship, and in return, I won't load you into the airlock and throw you out into space.
What do you mean you don't know?
After you sent for me, I checked the traffic monitors in nearby systems and found a trail. An intelligence report cites the craft escape velocity in the Ioneth system. We don't know who's on board, but there's also been a separate sighting of May in the Horse system.
I see. They think they could run to the frontier to get away from us. What are the reports of the child in the Funhouse system?
They must be incorrect. There's no way she could have travelled that far so soon.
Perhaps. May's lessons were never complete. She has no idea of her true identity and her guiding purpose. That makes her unpredictable. It makes her dangerous. What of Agent 23?
Loran, Agent 23 rather, killed her primary, destroying herself and the abandoned Imperial vessel in the process.
Good.
Loran fulfilled her destiny and shared her darkness with her guiding light.
And how does that make you feel, 39?
Eminence?
You must surely wonder about your own destiny, child. Does your mind not wish to speculate about the identity and location of your own guiding light? Does Agent 23's completion not fill you with envy? Well...
I wish only to serve.
When you face your assignment in person, 39, you will feel the same sense of purpose. Pursuing your target will be your only goal.
I wish to share my darkness.
Very good. You may step out of the restraints. Straighten yourself up, 39. There's somebody I'd like you to meet. Computer, activate holo communication. This is Commander Risha, a freelance problem solver.
Lady Absalom?
An outsider?
A professional.
I knew there was something off about you. There was no way you were an honest trader out here on your own.
Me? I'm as honest as you like. I pick up salvage and sell it. It's my boys that scatter the salvage first, for me to collect at my leisure.
Your boys?
Yeah, my sons. Great pilots in a couple of raider ships.
Ah.
Until you blew them up on your way through the system. It's lucky for you their escape pod saved them, or you'd already be sucking vacuum.
Look, I'll give you one chance, Reeds. Get off my ship and we'll forget about all this.
Forget about it? I'm down 2 fighters, after your little round of target practice. Not to mention the insult. This time, you're the one ejecting in an escape pod, and your ship will be my compensation.
But I don't have an escape pod. Only a remnant.
Well then, this is probably gonna hurt. A remnant rescue all the way out here? It'll take hours. Floating in space with only a bubble keeping your organs alive, your body will start to freeze. Your whole system shuts down into a coma. I'd prepare yourself for hospital food.
I don't think so. Get off our ship.
Where did you come from, kid?
It's May, and I've been hiding in a locker. Hiding in lockers makes me cranky. You wouldn't like me when I'm cranky. Especially since your gun is a McGrath Special Delta 9. By the time you've unhooked the safety and charged the first round, I'll already have shot you.
You two are crazy if you think an unarmed pilot and a kid with a toy pistol are a match for me.
I said drop the gun.
Ah! May, you shot me in the leg, you little witch!
Oh, May doesn't like being called kid.
Who's this?
Why not call me an ill-tempered cyborg with a shotgun? And you're surrounded, by the way.
Thanks for joining us, Kurlek. Cute gun.
What the hell is that thing?
The gun? I made it myself. It's not been tested. It's supposed to fire an electrical charge which knocks you unconscious. On the other hand, it may burn out your cortex and turn you into a vegetable. Let's find out.
Kurlek? May? Good work.
Was that really necessary?
What? He had a gun.
We had him covered. You didn't need to shoot him.
Kurlek, it's okay.
He's a little too keen on guns, if you ask me.
Well, I'm not asking you.
I'll head over to his ship, see if he's got any good cargo we can salvage.
Good idea.
I'm sorry.
What's my number 1 rule?
Never hold fire.
No. Number 1 rule is never go anywhere on board without your remlock.
Oh, right.
Never hold fire is rule number 2. And what you did was fine.
Really?
Probably. But we're trying to give the impression you aren't on board. Can you try not to leave your clothes everywhere?
If I had my own room, we wouldn't have this problem.
I've told you before, we can't afford a passenger cabin.
All done. I've dumped the commander in his chair.
Sleep well, Commander Reeds. Any good cargo on board?
A couple of crates of titanium ore I've taken. If we sell them here in Horse, it'll be a bit like taking gold to Bedaho, but since it's free, it's all profit. Or we can hold on to it for another system. Oh, and I transferred his fuel as well.
Great. Okay. Breaking ship-to-ship seal.
Ow!
Mate?
Headache. Just had a stabbing pain.
Sorry, kid. The life support system on this ship isn't designed for 3. It's bleeding CO2 back into the air supply. If we can afford to get the ship upgraded, it should fix it. No more headaches. Might even stop us all arguing. Try and sleep for the rest of the flight. It'll help.
Sure.
A nice job not killing our friend Reeds, guys. Now we can blow up his ship and add the bounty to this trip's profits.
Wait, stop!
What's the matter?
You can't just destroy his ship. Not when you know he's unconscious in his chair.
He'll be fine as long as his escape pod or remlock holds. It's no worse than he was going to do to us.
You mustn't.
Look, May, kid gloves isn't an option with pirates. Surely the last couple of trade runs have proved that. We need to sell this shipment before it really gets us killed. Have you forgotten my number 2 rule already?
No, but it's fine when we're attacked. Never hold fire. I get it. I really do. But to shoot him while he's out cold, it's just...
What?
I don't want to be a killer. I don't want to be like...
Your sister?
Yes.
Commander Risha will help you to complete this mission and stop the child. Our plans cannot be jeopardized.
I will instruct her accordingly.
No. Risha is in command. You will follow her orders.
But Matriarch, she's not one of us.
You are determined, 39, and ruthless. But you are limited. Agent 23's determination to fulfill her destiny made her a liability. A liability you share.
But she completed her mission.
You dare to speak out of turn to me?
Forgive me.
Do not misunderstand. We are pleased that Alpha 23 has been dealt with. Camilla had long been a thorn in our side, but it is right that the prototype is intercepted. Your singularity of purpose is useful to us, 39, but this unexpected mission must be completed. May must be stopped. Then, Risha will take the lead. Understood?
Understood, Matriarch.
And you are happy with your responsibilities, Commander Risha?
It is my pleasure to serve, Lady Absalom. I have already traced Commander Thane's ship to a system known as Horse.
Excellent work. We can no longer afford the risk of bringing the girl back. She is to be terminated.
What of the pilot, Thane, and his companion?
If they are not together, the pilot is of no interest. For the time being, at least, stay on the girl.
And if they are together?
Make no mistake. If Commander Thane gets in your way, kill him.
Approaching Duval Terminal. Distance to target, 50,000 kilometers.
May, are you there? May, come in, please. Are you okay?
I'm here. I'm fine. I was just resting.
You should come up to the cockpit. We're landing.
I'll be up in a minute. I don't want to miss it.
Cute kid. It's like we're a real family.
Don't take this the wrong way, Kurlek, but I wouldn't marry you if you were the last cyborg in the universe.
I know you're trying not to think about it.
Think about what?
Don't play games. We both know what you're thinking about, because I'm thinking about the same thing.
I don't know what to think. We've got a kid on board whose memories are 50 years out of date. Her sister tried to kill us before melting herself and an assassination target with nerve gas from her lungs. I'm not even mentioning the half-baked religious frenzy she went into before she did it. I'm surprised you are thinking about it. Gives me nightmares.
You're not the one having bad dreams.
She's still having them.
I hear her sobbing in the cargo bay, and not just in the lousy accommodation. She's dangerous. You know it, and I know it.
Oh, what do you mean?
You saw her in the hold. She didn't shoot because she had to. She shot because she wanted to. She has an instinct to control people and force their behavior, and she gets very angry when they don't snap to attention.
She's just short-tempered right now. Hell, doing this whole flight on almost poisonous air, I'm about ready to shoot somebody. And on top of that, there's the stuff with her father.
We should ditch her.
No. I'm not leaving anyone behind. Not even you.
You've ditched people before. You've had to survive. You're like me. You're a survivor.
Maybe I've changed. Maybe leaving people behind isn't the answer.
And do you think May would treat you the same if the shoe was on the other foot?
I've told you. I don't know what to think.
Entering horse system.
Any contact from Commander Risha?
Negative.
Sweep the system. Any sign of Thane's ship?
Scanning for craft. Echo Victor 223. One match.
A match? Where is it?
Specified vehicle has requested docking at Duval Terminal, Coriolis station around the first planet.
Gotcha.
Behold, our destination.
Are we landing on that?
Impressed?
Horrified. People trust their lives to that thing?
That's a Coriolis station. It's a classic of space settlement.
I know what it is. I also know how long they've been floating around out here.
Incoming communication.
Open a channel.
Welcome, Craft EV-223 to Duval Terminal. Please be advised that our automated docking system is offline. Will that be a problem?
No, it'll be fine. Thank you, OTC.
You don't sound confident.
Me? No, I've done this hundreds of times. You just have to match the cube's spin and aim for the hangar bay doors.
You're not straight.
Let me do it, please.
But you're going to crash.
I do think your spin might be off. The docking port is drifting away from us.
Just need a little bit more throttle.
You need to go slower, not faster.
Okay, grab something.
Welcome to Duval Terminal. Please have your cargo ready for corporate inspection. Security is provided by the Colmac Reeve Corporation. You are at liberty to explore any of this station's 4 cities. Please be aware that gravity is provided by rotational force. Newcomers should not be alarmed at the sight of a city floating above your head and to the sides. This is perfectly normal. You are in no danger.
In my defence, the Merlin has a very broad wingspan for a craft of its mass.
I told you we were coming in too fast.
Look on the bright side. Hull repairs on these stations are an in and out job. Rock bottom prices.
And it happens pretty much every day. They didn't even find us for the collision.
Whatever. It's nice to get out of that stuffy ship in one piece. Fresh air at last. Ugh, what is that smell?
Cuisine of 100 cultures all blending together in the ventilation system. Gotta love these old stations.
We should sell that titanium we boosted here, Thane. I know we won't get much, but we'll need to clear out space for the cabin upgrade.
You mean I'm finally getting a room?
No, Kurlik is getting a room.
But that's so unfair. I was here first. Why don't I get the room and Kurlik gets the cargo hold?
Because Kurlik is paying his way by making money for us.
And I thought the stun shotgun prototype worked very well. If I knock a few more up, we can sell them on the hand weapons market. Is that illegal here?
I don't think anything's illegal here. Meanwhile, May, you are still technically a stowaway, and stowaways don't get a cabin. Unless you'd like me to find an imaginative way of making money from you.
You wouldn't dare.
Don't worry, I'm no pimp. Besides, I can't see the locals here wanting a spoilt Imperial daddy's girl. Oh, space, May. I'm sorry, I didn't mean...
Forget it.
Besides, a passenger cabin comes with a second set of carbon scrubbers. It should share the load and sort out our life support problem.
So, where do we start?
May, this station's probably very dangerous. We don't know who's looking for us. You should stay here.
What? No! We should stick together.
Whoever's after us may be looking for us as a group.
But I want to explore the station. I was hoping to...
What?
Find out some information about my father.
Oh, great move. Triggering every data word from here to capital.
Kurlik.
She'll bring them right down on our heads.
Mate, we're still too close to the core. I can't let you put yourself in danger.
You can't let... I'm not your responsibility.
Hey, you stowed away on my ship, so you follow my orders. For a well-equipped ship, we're barely more than one jump away from the people who want to arrest us and kill you.
But they don't want to kill me. Lorand said...
Lorand is dead. And none of us know what your sister's people intended. For any of us.
I hate you.
May, come back!
I'd hate to say I told you so. Oh, wait, no, I wouldn't. I told you so.
She just wants to know who she is.
That's what scares me.
I can look after myself. I'm not his responsibility.
You can look after yourself.
No, not now. Not now.
You have the skills, May. You can complete your lessons. You can find me.
No, stop it. Stop. You're okay. What's this?
Station information panel. Please enter inquiry.
I need a data terminal or a records office.
The Data Exchange in East City has public terminals for the Galactic Data Net.
Can you show me?
Please follow the signs to East City, Level 1, where you can access ground transportation.
Then I'll get my own answers.
In episode 1 of Escape Velocity, Christopher Jarvis played Thane, Amy Timms May, Alan Wales Kerlek, Liam Macaulay Dallas, and Katie Howes Risha. Wayne Woolley was Commander Reeds, Nick James Senator Havelock, and Georgia Darlison as the teacher, with Anne Collins as the matriarch. Additional parts were played by the cast. Escape Velocity was written and produced by Christopher Jarvis, with music by Alan Stroud, and is a Radio Theatre Workshop production for laveradio.com. Elite is copyright Frontier Developments. For more information, please visit escapevelocity.laveradio.com.
Lave Radio, broadcasting to every corner of the galaxy.
Lave Radio. Lave Radio. Fly safe and enjoy the show. Lave Radio.
Hello and welcome to Lave Radio.
Greetings and welcome to Lave Radio.
Greetings, Commanders.
Greetings, Commanders.
The show that talks about the universe of Elite
and the development of the computer game Elite 4, known as Elite Dangerous.
and the fantastic
community that surrounds it.
Broadcast from an orange Sidewinder and hosted by a vending machine technician.
A place of nonsense and innuendo for forum dads.
A self-contained podcast 2 hours long.
Transmitting to every corner of the galaxy.
It's even louder than me.
The hottest show this side of Dizzo.
The name of the place.
Lave Radio.
Lave Radio.
Lave Radio.
Lave Radio.
Lave Radio.
Greetings, Commanders, and welcome to episode 413 of Lave Radio, the show that likes to talk about the universe of Elite and the fantastic community that surrounds it. I'm your host, Commander Phoenix Tafaya, Chief Archivist of Lave Station, otherwise known as Colin Ford. And joining me in the orange Sidewinder bar for this episode, we have our Head of Health and Safety. Is that you trying to swat a fly or something?
That's not me thwacking everything. I think that might be our tech specialist. So somebody's hitting something, and for once, it's not me.
Right. Well, in that case, we have Ben. We also have our staff liaison officer, Commander Psychit.
Hello.
Hello. Unfortunately, our apprentice stunt driver, Commander Alec Turner, he's dealing with an entire family that seems to have succumbed. They've all had their flu jabs and so on today, and basically the flu jabs have hit them. So we have been in touch with the East India Trading Company, and they have lent us Commander Mac Winston.
Hello.
Hello, welcome back. Yes, so you can join us live. We are hanging out in game somewhere, Ben, are we?
Yes. I didn't say this earlier, but today was my first day back in the office, officially and full-timely.
Oh, right.
And I also took this as an opportunity for me to actually get on my bike and not be a lazy git. But this meant I got home just after about 6:15, 6:30.
Right.
And then I ran into various show things that had to be dealt with immediately. And I literally finished eating my dinner about 5 minutes ago now.
Oh, right. So pretty much in the same boat as me at the moment, then.
Yeah.
Okay. Commander Psychit. Well, hang on. As you're hanging out in game and open, I guess you're nearly going to be near Lave. I know we can see we've got the Chris Mark IV running around.
I'm in. I think we're at Lave, aren't we, Chris? I'm wherever Chris is. If Chris is at Lave.
Right. Fair enough. So you can join us there. If you can, join us in game.
Nichols is here too.
All right, and Miggles. Excellent. Hello, Miggles. If you can't get in game, you can always join the Twitch chat channel or the YouTube chat channel, and you can access that through laveradio.com/live. Go on the live chat, or go straight to twitch.tv/laveradio, or already another YouTube, and so on and so forth. Yes, Psychic, this is already going the way of the dodo. It is a bit. So let's go around the crew, see what they've been up to for the last week, for the next week even. How's that for some time travel? So we'll start with Psychic this time.
I can put anything in our chat and Colin will just start reading it out loud, which gives me phenomenal power. It's fantastic. Aside from that, it's been quite a fun week. I've been delving back into the world of No Man's Sky like you were doing the week before, Cole.
Yes.
And probably because I wasn't particularly far into like a main save, I haven't felt like the hit of not being able to add as many excellent modifications onto ships and weapons as maybe some other people have. I really like the changes. I think it's been everything that they've changed for the better in No Man's Sky, apart from on Monday when it was running like complete arse on my computer. Aside from No Man's Sky stuff, I haven't really been doing a lot. I was playing an awful lot of Overwatch and also playing an awful lot of Stranded Alien Dawn, which is so good and so addictive. I need to give myself time away from that game purposefully, otherwise I don't sleep. It's a bit like, you know, when you get really into it, it doesn't play like Civilization, but those people who are fans of Civilization, is you can sit down and play Civilization and wonder why it's starting getting light again outside. I have that kind of, I get those vibes from Stranded. Like, it's just like, oh, one more day, just a couple more tasks for the survivors to do, and then I'll go to bed or chill out or go and do something else. And then I just don't do the something else, which is the problem. Health-wise, my hands are about the same. I haven't been playing an awful lot of Elite, so the stuff that's the joystick holding and those kind of things that are really, really aggravating the pain hasn't been there as much. But I have an appointment with my doctor on Thursday, which means they have all of the results that they need, and they can tell me if they've absolutely found nothing and there's not going to be any problems. And now they have to figure out what else is wrong with me. I've got a list. But yeah, that's about it. That's been my week.
Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that you can't use the old the old joysticks, which is a bit of a shame. But yeah, good luck for later in the week, and hope everything turns out all right. Right, okay, Ben, what about yourself?
You really had to do that as I pressed the "I want coffee" button, didn't you?
Okay, we'll go on to Mac while you grind.
Okay. Well, yes, it's been an eventful week because I'm on the Passage to Andromeda expedition, and we're on one of the really long legs. I had Sunday, I queued up the next bit from the current waypoint to the next waypoint. It was like 270 jumps, so yeah, it's quite a long leg. So currently, where am I? If I ever get out this Braben tunnel, I can tell you where I am. Right, I am in. Now I'm going to do a colon here because these things are difficult to pronounce. I'm in Glytua WK-U C4-0 if anyone wants to join me. So I'm in my Aspect Explorer some God knows how many thousands of light years from home. But yeah, I'm sort of jonking my way along to the next waypoint, looking for anything interesting. But we're kind of in the dark bits. When you get to Galaxy Central Core, if you go to the other side, there's a really dark bit between the central core and the arms. I'm right in the middle of that.
Yeah.
Which is probably why it's so many jumps, because the route isn't the route. If you look in the route plot, it gets quite zigzaggy because there's so few stars, even with a decent jump range. So yeah. Other than that, I fully comprehend Psychic's problem with just another game, just another day, whatever. I'm like that with StarCraft, and I've had a horrible, horrible weekend of Star. I lost so many MMR points, and the trouble is, it's like, I'll just stay up a little bit longer. I've got to win at least one game before I go to bed, and then you lose again, and then you get on tilt, and it's just, yeah. I know what but the thing is, it's frustrating, but it's also just it's an awesome game. I love it, but yeah, it's frustrating as anything, especially when you get on a big losing streak. Because it's competitive. Well, because I play 1 versus 1 ladder, so yeah, it's competitive as anything, and other than that, real life, it's aeroplane inspection time. So I've been at the Glider Club inspecting gliders, getting them ready for their something called the ARC, another sign off we have to do. I've taken one plane over to England to have its inspection done. And it was fun getting back because all the trains were cancelled because there's a train strike.
That would have been interesting.
Someone gave me a lift to Blackpool, thinking I could get the next day. I could get the direct train to Liverpool and then get on EasyJet or on the ferry or whatever back home. Anyway, all the trains from Blackpool to Liverpool were cancelled. So I had to take this really circuitous route, and bearing in mind I'd already walked from Squires Gate all the way up to Blackpool North because I thought I needed, it'd be a nice day for a walk. Mm-hmm. Anyway, it's about 3.5, 4 miles or so. It's all the way up the whole length of Blackpool. And I did, this wasn't a stroll. This was like a military quick march because I had a bit of time pressure. And so then I had to do this hugely circuitous route out via Press and then Wakefield. Then I had to traipse across the whole of Wakefield. Again, quick march time, then the train to Liverpool. And I think I had walked with a big heavy backpack on 12 kilometers by the end of it all. So Monday morning, the following Monday, I felt it.
Oh, yeah, sounds like
really
it.
Felt it. And then to add things, my stepmom has been badgering me to join my stepbrother's run club. He does this run club where everybody, from the locality, about 30 odd people do this. Anyway, I usually ride my bike for exercise. I used to ride to work. So yeah, big thumbs up to Ben for riding to work. It's good. I find riding my bike to work incredibly good thinking time. So best quality thinking time you can get. But since I changed jobs and I now work permanently from home, I find it difficult to get motivated to go on my bike for no reason, but I found the running quite good. The only problem is that was yesterday, so I'm slightly sore from that today. But yeah, that's that in a nutshell has been it for me.
Fair enough. Okay, we'll hop over to hopefully the fully ground out Ben.
I am all ground out, and I am now sitting in Chris Mark IV's ship. So, what have I been up to? It was my daughter's birthday, so over the weekend that was fun, and I can't believe she's growing up so quickly.
It happens.
It does happen. I've still got technically 12 more years, but I have to start panicking. But realistically, approaching 7 or 8 probably.
Right.
And we'll just have to see how that goes, because she's already got awards from the school for being the friendliest person in the year and things like that. Work-wise, I've already said.
Yep.
Game-wise...
Congratulations on cycling.
Game-wise, I've not really had any time to play games. I played about an hour of games last night, playing Star Citizen with your mate Colin, and we had a very traditional Star Citizen run, which was we did manage to find each other.
Okay, that's an amazing start.
Yeah, so that was a good thing. Then we had let me actually, I'll get the full. I think we experienced pretty much everything that can go wrong. So, we spent about half an hour to get out of Horizon, which, whilst looking pretty, was not where we wanted to be.
Right.
Then we managed to get stuck in an elevator in a base. Then we had a bug. Then we had a buggy mission. So, we tried to go and do something, and the elevator again wouldn't work it let me into the base, but it didn't let your friend into the base.
Okay, that's part of the course, really, isn't it?
And on top of that, it looked like somebody had already been there and killed half the people, which is probably why the mission was in this like half and half state. But that's that's by the by. And then when we left the thing saying it's fucked, a other human decided he's going to come and shoot up my ship, and then shoot us as well.
And how did you feel when everything was wiped out like that?
Apart from the fact, I was pissed off because it's like I'm trying to show Ralph what the game's like.
Yeah. Well, Ralph was a big Star Citizen backer.
Yeah.
And he's kind of fallen out of...
Yeah.
He's fallen out of love with it.
So I'm trying to show him, I was trying to show him, okay, this is where Star Citizen is now.
Uh-huh.
And I think, to be fair, I think we managed to do that quite well.
Not as far as long as $500 million buys, I think.
Yeah. On the bright side, even though I lost, I lost, my equipment, but it would take me one mission to get all my equipment back. So it's not a in-game money annoyance. It's just like, seriously, dudes, you have to be a dick.
Yes.
But then, this all turns into another very large discussion between open only for everything versus versus solo and group and PvE modes and PvP modes and what you should do and the entire thing about it. And
yes, because surprisingly enough, on the forums, funny you should mention that. Well, someone started off yet another one of those clogging threads, and it's already up to something like 17 pages.
Yeah,
and
it's a very contentious issue.
It is. Yeah.
I think I'm on the favor. I feel that you get more positive reactions out of people, more positive interactions with people. But equally, there are times in Elite Dangerous and in Star Citizen and in other space games when I really just can't be asked dealing with people.
Yep.
So I can see the benefits.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is what it is.
It is what it is, unfortunately. So moving on from there, let's have a quick look at what I've been up to. I've been enjoying my wiped No Man's Sky save, so started completely from scratch last week, and I'm getting my base together now, so I'm quite happy with that. And played quite a bit of Elite Dangerous. We then did some exploring and catalogued a lot more plants, surprisingly enough, and tried my best to get a new suit. And I must admit, although I'm still enjoying the missions, the frustration levels at not finding particular things like I don't know, opinion polls and stuff for the new engineers, it's very disheartening after a while. And so basically I just give up and trying to look for them and just do another couple of missions instead. I'm almost up to a level 4 Dominator suit, yay, and then I've got to do it all over again for a level 5. But yes, apart from that, I think that's fine. Unfortunately, it's been a bit stressful this week because we got one of those dreaded phone calls from the school saying, your son's had an accident. It turns out he'd broken his collarbone. Yeah. So he's upstairs at the moment feeling very sorry for himself on painkillers and a sling. And so you can imagine that it's kind of turned things back about 10 years. I feel like I'm having to dress him for the morning and things like that again, which, yeah.
When I was at school, I was the one generating all those phone calls. My parents had more than one.
Yeah, well, at the moment we've had 4 with him. There's a collarbone, he's broken his foot, he had a hairline fracture of the jaw. I can't remember what the last one was. Oh yeah, he basically, someone had pushed him over and basically split his head open. He had to have his head glued. So he's, boys will be boys and all that kind of stuff. But he's been through the wars. I really feel sorry for him.
Really take care of themselves and watch themselves as they go around, because that feels accident prone.
Yeah, you don't know the school that he's at.
I have a collection of scars from my school days. I got a scar on my forehead, I got a massive scar on my arm and my elbow all the way, and one on my wrist after I put my hand through a glass window. One on my knee from falling off a wall, which I got a scar on that one, actually. I fell off my bike later on and got another scar on top of the already existing scar. So yeah.
Yeah, and it's quite painful, and the strongest people we can give stuff that we can give him is paracetamol and ibuprofen. They won't let us give him anything stronger, or won't prescribe him anything stronger. So, yes, it's fun times. So, moving on from there, let's go straight to the development news. Now, what have the devs said this week? Well, I'm afraid to say not much again. The Discovery Scanner came out on Monday with a couple of little tidbits. The first thing that we all were quite excited about was actually they've given us a little bit of a heads up of when the release date of Update 14 is coming. Now, Tom was on their last stream, and he said that it was content complete on the last Frameshift Live. Now, and so at the moment they're refining and testing the current release. And Sally says they are confident to share that the expected deployment is targeted at the end of November. Okay, so that's 6 weeks away-ish. First of all, let's go around the crew, see what the reaction is for that. Ben?
Yeah, I take it'll be here when it gets here kind of thing. I think it's about in line with when we were expecting, maybe a couple of the weeks later. I just hope that I hope there is a chance for real testing, and I even hope, probably in vain, that there's a chance for community public testing.
Well, considering I don't think they've ever done any of that stuff with the narrative involved.
But how do we know if there's going to be... What if there's going to be some physical stuff involved? Then can that be tested without spoiling the narrative? I don't know.
I don't think so. If it is what I suspect it is, then
yeah,
they won't let us test it because it's hashtag spoilers, and we all know how much fun they've had with NDAs, don't we?
What are you talking about? All of that's perfectly fine. They never have a problem with stuff like that. Frontier have problems with like embargoes and shit. No.
Well, it's not really Frontier that have the problems. It's
people with comprehension issues. I understand.
That's the one. Yeah. Right. Let's see. Yeah, Psychic. I mean, do you think this is the main thing that I've got with it is it feels like the storyline's kind of stretching out a little thin at the moment. I mean, do you think they're stretching the storyline out a bit too thin?
Maybe a little bit. Maybe a little tiny bit. Maybe because I like, for example, no CG that happened this week. There was no CG, and there wasn't really any substantial big lore that sort of dropped in the middle. So I like there might be maybe 2 weeks or so behind, something like that, from where they potentially wanted to be. So we might find out that the Stargoid start going a little slower, or things along those lines. You see sort of that kind of thing. And also, which we will inevitably come to, there's been less Galnet articles this week as well. So it does start to feel a little bit like maybe we're in a bit of a drip feed week for the time being, and a bit of a filler week.
Yeah. Just to point out, everybody took a guess at when the release was going to come out. We all got it wrong. Some people, well, myself was sort of like first week in November. I think you and Ben were sort of like second or third weeks. End of November. So we all got it wrong.
I reckon it'll come out on likely the 22nd rather than the 29th, especially if they're doing something Halloweeny.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like the 22nd is going to be more of a more substantial, more like a closer time to it. But I don't know.
Yeah, at least it gives them 3 weeks before the Christmas break to sort out any issues that have happened. So, last thing you want is a release on December the 16th, and then it's broken over Christmas. Mac, what do you think about the 14th? You happy with that? The update 14's release date?
Yeah, I mean, they arrive when they arrive, really, don't they? And my last job, we had this supplier, and they'd always give us dates, and we always knew whatever date they would give, the deliverable would arrive on that date at 23:59 and 59 seconds. It was always the last possible moment they could without actually being late. But yeah, I mean, although Frontier were, if you remember back to the original release of 1.0, they were reasonably courageous because they launched that just before Christmas. It was like, what was it, the 15th of December they launched that?
Well,
it was
technically,
like that, yeah.
Technically, it wasn't because it had been in beta for the last. No, I have a real problem with this one. I even after all this time, I've got a real problem with this because basically, after they started that last section of the beta, Michael Brooks said, we're gonna go through this final beta, and there'll be a wipe, so everybody starts off at the same level." And what happened? There was no wipe. So basically, I thought, okay, I'm gonna step back. I'm not going to get involved in this last bit of the beta because basically, I'm feeling that I'm sort of overplaying it. And but of course that meant that I was 2 weeks behind everybody, and by the first time I logged in, someone had already made it to blooming Sagittarius A and all that kind of stuff, and I'm sort of
Although that took real dedication back then to get to Sagittarius A star.
Well, at least it was possible. I've been looking at how difficult it is in Frontier First Encounters, and it ain't possible at all.
Yeah, because your drive breaks down before you get there. You end up stranded on some planet somewhere. Yeah, I tried to do it as well. Yeah, no, you can't. But yeah, I think the release date. Yeah, it seems fine to me, and I'm sure they had a bit of contingency and slot just in case. And the other thing is I'm always a bit cautious because everybody, it's been a perennial complaint in Elite that the storyline moves so slow. It's this, that, and the other. It's too slow. But you have to remember that a lot of the people who are saying, "Oh, it's going really slow. It's getting really drawn out," are us. That we're the obsessives. We play it week in, week out.
Yeah.
The thing is, you've got to strike a bit of a balance between not being too slow for the obsessed like us, but also being not too fast for the casuals who still want to be able to experience the stuff, not completely miss out because they didn't happen to play for 4 days or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's a balance that has to be struck.
Excellent. I mean, in other news, well, obviously this Thursday they're having the Halloween special Frameshift Live. So that's from this Thursday at 4:00 British Standard Time, which is that 5:00 or 3:00 GMT? Is what. So they've got some topical fun games and some extra special treats for you, and they're also including some special unique some special unique Halloween paint jobs in the form of the Malevolent Ghoul for 4 of their favorite ships. So the Cobra Mark III, the Anaconda, the Python, and the Asp Explorer all get basically what I can only describe as something I could see on Scooby-Doo.
They're cool.
Judging by that enthusiasm, you want one then, Psychic.
They're cool. They're cool. What are they? They're just Twitch drops, aren't they? So they'll get we'll get them. You'll get them by being on the Twitch channel. It's not difficult.
Yeah.
I actually do have a minor issue with this. I mean, complaining about free stuff.
Yeah, go on. Complain about free stuff. Off you go.
What happens if I can't make Thursdays at 4:00 when I'm meant to be fucking working?
Because fuck you.
That does feel the attitude, and that pisses me off.
Well, that's just a look. I mean, open up your phone, open up the stream, and mute it. It will still work. You will still get the drops. Open up your phone, open up the stream, and just mute it.
I hope you've got the data.
Yeah.
You'll have the data.
I should have the data, to be frank, but these Frontier streams I cannot usually watch live because I'm supposedly working.
Well, you just missed the fact that they read out your name wrong.
Well, but I like having my name read out wrong.
They should get your name read out.
Well,
that's a good idea.
I wonder if they'd call me Mark Winston.
Boy, I haven't done that in ages, Mac, and you know it.
Just leave a window open, or not like a house window, obviously, but like leave a window open with Elite running, or not Elite running with the Elite Dangerous channel, Twitch.
The problem is when I'm on on Works VPN, Twitch gets blocked along with a load of other things by Cisco Umbrella.
Okay, well use your phone then.
So yeah, I mean I have to use my phone, which I don't even have Twitch installed on because I find Twitch on my phone to be absolutely shite.
Well, if you're that desperate for them, Ben, you're just going to have to make an exception at this point.
I know, and it makes me angry about free things.
Angry about free things. Lovely. Right, well, moving on from there. I mean, they've obviously got a few things planned. I mean, last time, wasn't it dress up as a pirate day as far as Arf was concerned? I can't remember.
Last time? I thought last time they all wore the same shirt. It was Sally, Bruce and Zach all wearing the same shirt. They all had like this black shirt with pumpkins on.
Must have been a big shirt.
They were all wearing different... It was the same shirt. They were wearing the different... Jesus fucking Christ, Matt. But either that did happen, or that is a weird fever dream that I have had.
No, I just remember everybody dressing as pirates. I don't know whether I'm getting things mixed up. Was there a special dress as a pirate day or something that we missed?
If Arthur has the opportunity to dress as a pirate, he will dress as a pirate. So that was probably that was when Arthur did the long console stream. He was dressed as a pirate.
Oh, right. Fair enough. Because if it was dressed like a pirate day, that was cancelled because it was the same day as the Queen's funeral.
That was back in the plague times, because he did that from home.
In the plague times, in the time of pestilence. Okay, so there's that to look forward to. We've got Arth and Bruce and Sally this Thursday. So collect your ghoulish, collect all your ghoulies that you need. Sorry, sorry. That was uncalled for. There are also going to be showing off their Stella scream shots, whichever it was. So I think we'll move on to the in-game events, just to hurriedly move away from bad puns. Well, there's not been much happening this week. I mean, the 13th of October, the Stargoid, the CG ended effectively with the Stargoids being repulsed by Operation Tynderus. Did anybody make a lot of money out of that, or were we all just, it's more Stargoids?
I didn't do it. I remade my Crate Mark II to be able to do it, and then I think my hands hurt so bad that I couldn't play Elite. So I never actually got to fly it and do the things. So
yeah, I mean, I must admit, I was in pretty much the same boat, because basically I thought I was going to be able to do something at the weekend, but instead I went, no, I'm going to try and get my suit, because I still suspect that I'm going to need a grade 5 Dominator suit for some time in November/December. They won. People got loads of money, and there will be extra engineered heatsink launches for everybody who got above 75%. On the 14th of October, a congressional candidate has endorsed the Xeno Peace Movement. This is one of the up-and-coming people from the Federation has now decided that his ticket to get into the Senate is to say we should talk to the Stargoids, not fight them. Which does sound sensible. It all depends on whether or not the Stargoids are going to listen.
Well, haven't we tried to do that in the past? It all went rather pear-shaped.
The only thing that we've had in the past mentioned about communication with the Stargoids has been from the Guardians. The Guardians said they tried every single method of communicating with the Stargoids they knew of, and when they didn't respond in any way apart from violence, they decided, sod it, let's bomb them into the Stone Age, which is what they did.
I think we communicated with the Stargoids using pulse lasers and the mycoid virus.
Yeah, that went down well.
Yeah, they're gonna, we didn't even try a fruit basket, did we?
Well, I don't know. It depends on whether or not you consider.
Or is that
dropping
what
off
Professor? Not Professor Palin. Is that what
Etienne Dawn's doing?
Yeah, Etienne Dawn's up to.
Yeah, that's what he's doing. He's feeding them all so we don't have to, which is always good for a laugh. So yeah, we got the congressional candidate endorsing the Xeno Peace Movement. Today it's actually yesterday, the 17th of October, the Emperor herself has stood up and said, yes, the Empire is a lot stronger than it was when it was having to deal with all these pesky alliance and subhuman Federation types. We're stronger. We don't need them. We'll be able to take anything the Stargoids throw at us. Yeah, good luck with that, I think. So, and that's all the news. Oh, apart from the fact that the number of Stargoids has now gone up to 6. Canon are now tracking 6 individual Stargoids as they're approaching, and there are rumours of a 7th and 8th appearing on the FSS scanner. So we'll just have to wait and see. So 6 so far.
Can we do a sweepstake?
Oh, how many do you want?
How many do you think there's going to be? Shall we?
Actually, Alec Turner had a sweepstake running, but unfortunately he's not here to actually tell us how it went, which is a bit of a shame. I think there's going to be I'm going to go with the, 12. I think I'm going to go with 12. What about you? Higher or lower?
I think higher, maybe. I think they're just going to keep coming.
Yeah, I'm thinking ultimately this might turn into, oh my god, it's full of stars.
Or, oh my god, it's full of cats' backsides.
One or the other.
Flying cat arse.
Yeah, you think it's the cat's arse?
I think it's still going to be in single digits. Personally.
Okay. So, right, okay. So we're going... Let's just say, Mac, you're going 10 and under. I'll be going 10 to 20. Psychic, Infinity +1.
No. Okay. Initially 15.
Initially 15, okay. Yeah. But then you think they'll just keep on coming.
They'll just keep checking them as, yeah.
Okay. Ben, anything that you'd like to guess at?
I'm thinking, I'll go for the Infinity +1 route then.
Okay, you go for the Infinity.
I was thinking sort of, low 3 digits, but I'll go for Infinity +1.
Wow. Okay then. Well, that's good to hear. Apparently, Alex passed the results. He's done a sweepstake. 53.8% of people thought there'd be between 5 and 10. 19.2% of respondents said it would be between 10 and 11 and 50. 5.1 said 51 to 100, and about 21.8% said hundreds. So yeah, and we still don't know what they do. Oh, Pete Witherspoon said he says 8 as well. I think that we're going to have a few turn up and some systems together. I think they're going to double team us.
Easy.
What? Anyway,
bear with me a second. I'm just opening up my Latin translator.
Oh no. Right. Okay.
Yeah. Psychic, do you think there'll be any teabags involved?
I don't know. I just think doubling the teams would be very interesting.
Or maybe a soul spit roast?
Why not?
No.
Why not?
All I meant was that each critical system will probably have 2 Stargoids attacking each of them. That's all I meant. You have to just take it somewhere, which I didn't really want to think about. So, in order to escape that, I think it's that time of the week again.
Store alert! In the bi-weekly newsletter, here come paint jobs for your art. In the bi-weekly newsletter, here come paint jobs for your art. A store alert, a store alert, a store alert, a store alert, a store alert. Each one will you buy? A store alert, 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 a store alert.
Right. Well, obviously this week we have other things appearing on the store, which I'm just looking up right now. The we do have the malevolent ghoul ones, but there are also additional skins with a spooky theme, which I do believe are coming this week.
Yes, so they've also said Frontier on the Discovery Scanner. They also said that if you keep an eye on the socials, there might be an opportunity for them to give away. There might be like skins that they're giving away.
Mm-hmm.
Let me have a look. Again, this might have been some kind of fever dream that I haven't actually paid attention to.
Well, yeah, isn't this is the Noctule Hex?
Yes. It's like orange and yellow bats. It's very cute. So
yeah, they're again for the Cobra, the Anaconda, the Python, and the Asp Explorer. Oh, excuse me, the Asp Explorer. Yeah. So, are they actually being unlocked, or is it?
It says not only limited to Frameshift Live this month. Keep your eyes peeled for unique opportunities to receive gift codes across our Elite Dangerous social platforms. So keep an eye on Twitter, and I think they have a Facebook and stuff like that, because there might be things that you can enter for that. I don't know. I'm just reading it off this and come here and just keep an eye. You might get some free shit. Ben, you might get some free shit not on a stream.
Yeah, I might get some. So if I can get some free shit by not having to visit a stream while I'm meant to be working, I will be happy.
Yeah. Surprisingly enough, it's actually got the Eagle Predator skin jobs.
Yeah, they're highlighted, but they're not new, are they?
No, I'm not quite so sure whether or not they're new or not. I'm not quite so sure whether or not they were there. I've been watching far too much Blade Runner. Oh dear, I do. Yeah, far too much Blade Runner. Anyway, so yeah, there's those things. I guess we'll just have to wait and see what we can grab hold of on the socials. I must admit, I do like the bats.
The bats are cool. I'd like to see them in different colours, but I do like the bats. I'd like to see maybe some other options, but we'll have to wait and see. Obviously, it's not pink, so I'm mad.
Oh, so you want pink bats? Of course, you'd want pink bats.
Isn't the shiny bat decal that we got last year or the year before, some Halloween one? Isn't the shiny glowy bat decal? Isn't that pink?
I think it might be.
I get the feeling it's on most of my ships at the moment because October. Katie's just advised me that it is because she is my personal Googler at this point.
Oh, glad you're doing the research for her. Right. Okay, I think we will take a short break and then we'll come back with our main discussion points.
Lave Radio, broadcasting to every corner of the galaxy.
You've flown ships at max speed. You've felt the power of the 30-megawatt mining laser. You've experienced the efficiency of the MB4 mining machine.
Wow.
But it leaves every hardcore miner with just one question.
Why can't I get a shave that's that fast, close, and efficient?
Introducing the Saracen MB5 shaving drone.
It's so smooth.
Combining the power of a mining laser with the convenience of a drone.
It's like every hair is targeted by a fighter and destroyed.
Saracen's patented shaving drone attaches to your face at the start of the day. Leave it to do its work, and when you come back to check, your face is shaved.
He's so smooth.
It's like I'm mining my face.
The Saracen MB5 shaving drone.
Now I feel manly.
Saracen Shaving, making shaving an unnecessary adventure.
We all know what it's like. You're busy managing your settlement when suddenly the alarms go off.
Oh no, not again.
That's right. A commander with a Federation naval rank of Admiral, an Imperial King no less, has landed in a ship worth over 100 million credits and is killing all your staff, while they look around for a 10 credit adhesive to glue an upgraded scope to their 100,000 credit assault rifle. They fly away with their super glue and you're left with a problem. How are you going to get your agricultural plant back up and running?
How am I going to get my plant up and running?
How are you going to find staff at short notice?
How am I going to find staff at short notice?
How are you going to deal with all those bodies?
There's bodies everywhere, and they've stained the carpet.
Wonder no longer. Call Aries Crime Scene Cleanup Services.
Hello, I'm Harry, Larry's Mine. After a sudden increase in robberies and murders by commanders since 3307, I've gained valuable expertise in cleaning up bodies, recruiting new staff and restocking stationary lockers. Now you can benefit from my experience by signing up to our Crime Scene Cleanup Service subscription plan.
That's right. For only a small monthly fee, when your settlement alarms are activated, our rapid response cleanup crew will be dispatched, along with our patented Cadaver Scoop 150. The Cadaver Scoop 150 can be mounted to surface reconnaissance vehicles and skimmers to make tidying up your settlement a breeze.
Wow, the bodies are gone.
Our recruitment team has potential new employees on standby across the galaxy, ready to fill your vacant roles in security, logistics, administration, processing, and more.
My plant's operational again. Thanks, Aries Crime Scenes Cleanup Services.
Aries Crime Scene Cleanup Services. We'll have your settlement as good as new before the next ship arrives. Cadaver Scoop 150 disposal bags sold separately.
This is Commander Pitstarter, and you are listening to Lave Radio.
From the makers of the MB5 shaving drone comes the latest in personal grooming technology. Here at Saracen, we've heard your request loud and clear. You want something new. Applying all the recent technological advances. Introducing the Panther Clipper. Gone are the days of your unruly body hair making you look like a bedraggled alpaca. The Panther Clipper is the biggest, baddest shaver credits can buy. A shave so smooth it'll shave 10 milliseconds off your buckyball time. The new Panther Clipper from Saracen. It's exactly what you've been asking for.
And welcome back. I must admit, we've got to give the Chris Mark IV and Commander Ventura, and of course Nick Lambert, a round of applause for the fantastic new advert that's turned up. I don't know how we managed with the Cadaver Scoop 500 for 1500. So yes. Moving on to our main discussion. Now, we've spent the last 3 weeks looking at the old ships and bringing them back into the game. But we'd like to actually just bookend this discussion because, although we had fun looking at some of the old designs, I was just wondering, what sort of ships would we like to see if we've been given a completely blank canvas? I mean, are there roles that you'd like to see filled, or is there something missing other than a Panther Clipper that you feel the game needs? Now, we've had a few suggestions from older crew members, so we'll come on them at the beginning. So let's start. Psychit. Do you think there is a hole in Elite Dangerous for a new ship?
Yes. Yes, I think there's plenty of opportunities for new ships and things like that. There's a couple that spring to mind like straight away. A medium-sized passenger liner, for example, is one of the first things that's always come to mind. Something like that. I like after some of the conversations that we've had over the last week, I've been sort of thinking about other roles that Elite Dangerous could could fill, or like fill, and something that is a set ship that you would use to go between a settlement and a planet, rather than like a taxi service, like a train line kind of thing. If that makes, do you know what I mean? Like maybe a little cheaper.
Are you wanting a bus replacement service?
Something like that, yeah. but things along those lines, and also I'm like all about something looking slightly different. So I had to think about like what something that would fit with like a dolphin and an orca and a beluga along those lines. And I thought if you gave it like a really, really pointy nose, you could call something a narwhal, and that would probably fit.
Yeah, that's quite true. I mean, the one thing that took me by surprise there was the fact that you said there isn't a medium one. And of course I thought, but the orca's medium.
Nope.
And then I look it up and realise, no, it's a large ship. And I'm there going, so yeah, completely right. There isn't a dedicated medium.
Is there a role for that to fill? Is there a fully needed role for something like that to fill? Probably not. But it might be nice to have something like a medium cruise liner that you could maybe drop like a little shuttle bus out of the bottom.
True.
Do you know?
Yeah, but you see, the large ships can't dock at outposts, and you know there might be an occasion where you want to carry more than a dolphin to these various outposts. There might be missions there, so you could slam in. You could get more missions by doing it on a medium liner, surely. I mean,
possibly.
They have removed the restriction that liners have unique passenger cabins, haven't they? Because
I don't think so.
Because isn't the really high-end luxury cabins? They're only available on liner type ships, aren't they?
I believe so. Yeah.
Right. Because I can't remember whether that rule got cancelled out or not.
No, I'm pretty sure it's still there. I'm pretty sure it's still a thing. That was just kind of just one of the thoughts that I had. I don't know, something that doesn't look like an eagle to counter the eagle, like a couple more little racing ships as well.
Yes, I mean, yeah, there was a couple of ships in the old list which were there going, oh yeah, I would like that, just something to rival the eagle with. I mean, that was a fantastic idea. Any others you can think of straight off the top of your head?
Oh, crikey. You'd think I'd have thought about this a little bit more.
Don't worry, we'll get over to
I don't know. It's really
we could probably cycle back to you.
Oh yeah, I just think I want like different ships that look pretty. So any time we saw a ship that looked different to the standard that we have, then something that looks a little different.
Fair enough.
Also, an X-wing. An X-wing would be really nice.
An X-wing or a Star Fury. Yes, that would be very, very nice, wouldn't it, Ben?
Yeah. Oh, I think the problem is though, if we were to do that, then this time around, Elite Dangerous would get accused of copying things.
Oh, everybody accused Babylon 5 of copying the X-wing anyway, just because it's an X shape. I mean, it's not. It's when you actually look at the design, it's far more obvious that it's a different kind of ship.
Oh yeah,
than with the asps, the stolen asps in SC. I mean, it's sort of they've been nicking ship designs from both Elite Dangerous and EVE Online. So, oh no, sorry, not nicking. It's a homage. Got to say that. That's what they said. It's a homage. So Ben, is there any ships that you can think of that you'd want?
Rather than ships, what I'd rather think about is roles. And my issue with Elite is one of my issues with I think ships is our ships can basically all do everything. even things, or especially things they're not meant to do, and they can do them very well. For example, people have mentioned, the Dolphin, which is meant to be the bus, or at least the minivan that Psychic was on about, is also a really, really great low-end explorer.
Yes,
And I want, I want a ship that is, I am a bulk transporter, and that is all I am. And if I have shields, they are worse than a bit of tissue paper. If I have guns, I'll be lucky to deflect Dimorphos.
Okay.
Dimorphos. And if I fly through an atmosphere, I fly like an overweight brick.
Okay, so straight down then.
Yeah. I want, and that. But if I want to do a bulk transport of things from A to B, I'm your boy.
So basically, you're after what was generally the big traders of Frontier First Encounters, then.
Oh, but then equally, I don't want I want a mining ship, but I don't want a mining ship that can also. I don't want a Python, say, which has got a mining laser on it. I want a dedicated mining ship that has all the things we need for mining, and maybe it's got some. I don't know. Give it a mining ship only utility slot or two, which allows you to find those motherlode things easily without honking and thinking, does that look a bit like popcorn, for example?
Yeah. Oh well, the pulse wave scanner at the moment is in a horrible state.
Yes.
So.
But if we can get something that actually does that, but put it on so you can only have it on mining ships to remove the RNGesus of finding the motherlode.
Mm-hmm.
That would be cool, but make it a mining only feature.
Oh, so basically, your best bet in finding the big motherloads is to use this particular ship.
Yeah, if you want to do mining, get a mining ship, not a generic ship which can also do mining. Elite doesn't. We've got refineries and things like that. I'm trying to think. Maybe, without it getting mining would be contrived, but give us a healing ship, a dedicated healing ship, which would be great in if you're doing some combat with your friends. And you can get things that'll heal. We can do this kind of sorta.
Yeah, you could have. I did remember that my ASP at one point it was the healing ship because it had healing beam lasers for basically propping up people's shields and repair limpets for propping up when the repair limpets for when the hull started getting
when the hull goes down and things like that,
and decon limpets for when the caustic hit.
Mm-hmm.
And that seemed to work quite well because basically I was the healer while other people tanked.
But that's what I'm saying. It's like every ship can be a jack of all trades, and I wish we couldn't do that. But I know, and if you couldn't do that, then you would have more of a need for more ships and have more variety. But it's such a radical redesign that I don't really want it, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, because you kind of would be taking away. They would take away some ships in order to replace them, wouldn't they?
It would be like, okay, well, why do we want to fly a Python now when I can fly my dedicated mining ship with this, or something along those lines?
Yeah. Psychic.
So, I feel like there's two different play styles that you're talking about there, because there are people who like to have one ship that is really good at doing everything and switch in and out bits and pieces. But I really like using the Corvette for a lot of things. Clearly, I'm an idiot, but I really like using the Corvette for an awful lot of things, and I like using it for mining. I like using it for passenger rescue and all of that shit. But I've bought a Corvette to do those things. It's not like I don't switch in and out. I have a dedicated
You've got
mining
5 or 6 Corvettes.
I have a dedicated passenger rescue Corvette. The Burning Peasant smell is designed purely to rescue the burning peasants from the Coriolis systems and stuff like that. So I would personally really welcome having the opportunity to maybe have the Corvette in a smaller ship and be able to take pictures of something that's nose isn't quite so huge. Although it's beautiful, but I'd like to take pictures of other ships, please.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like the Corvette should be a kick-ass, not quite capital ship, combat vessel, and that would be great. But that's all it should be. Rather, the Imperial Cutter should be a luxurious bulk cargo ship, essentially. And the Anaconda is your jack of all trades, master at none, but make it jack of all trades and master at none. It's not as good at combat. It's not as good at mining. It's not as good at bulk
having the
hauling.
largest jump range.
Yeah, exactly. And
there's definitely that sort of like leading it to being two different play styles there.
Yeah, it's a very different, but it would be a very, very different game with a very, very different ship matrix if my ideas ever came to be.
I mean,
and we're 10 years into development, and we're not going to see this kind of thing thought about because God, I mean, how much would you cry if your Corvette suddenly couldn't do everything, but they went off and said, "Well, we've got the Corvette and we've got the Corvite and the Corvaise that can do similar things."
First and foremost, I would ask them specifically who is doing the naming of their ships because they need to.
Come on, I had half a second to figure that out. Give me a break.
But aside from that, I feel like providing that my ships can they can still do it, but not quite as well. And it's very rare now. It's such a shame, but it's to some extent it has started being a lot rarer now that I will opt to get into a Corvette because I do a lot of Odyssey based stuff and medium, specifically small ships, but medium ships that are medium and small ships are so much better suited to that just because they're easier to land on planets and they're quicker to get away and they just fit in more places and there's not that many landing pads on settlements that are large, so I'm walking further. Also, I'm walking further to get onto the Corvette in the first place from the concourse. So there's lots of mitigating factors why I wouldn't now choose a Corvette, or I'd maybe switch into a different ship before getting out of it at a concourse.
Unless, of course, Darren's wiped all your Corvettes.
Listen, that's not funny. It's not a funny joke.
Do it.
I just make
channeling off
more.
there.
I quite like engineering.
Yeah, can I just give a quick shout out to Chris Mark IV coming up with a much better name for something with the Core Blimey.
Core Blimey. Yeah, I must admit, it's sort of. I mean, you can see that in the past, certain vessels were dedicated to a certain action. Like, for instance, if you want combat, especially PvP combat, there's nothing that touches a Fer-de-Lance, in my opinion. And you can see that was there and put in specifically just for that role. But it can do other things as well, which I think it kind of defeats the object, Because this is one of the things that we were looking at in Frontier First Encounters, was that
I actually get the opinion that you guys all agree that you'd like to have ships actually being a dedicated role and being good at that, rather than everything being multi-role.
Not everything isn't multi.
Not everything, but a significant amount.
The thing that I mean about multi-role at the moment is that there is a fantastic multi-role ship in the form of the Crate Mark II.
Mhm.
That ship can do everything, and it can do everything incredibly well.
Far too well.
Yeah. I mean, there's also the Python, but it's not
that was the previous king.
Yeah, that was the previous multi-role king, if you like. But yeah, I do feel that sometimes that some of the ships need their own special slots in order to make them feel more specialized. So that there'll be things that the Fer-de-Lance can do that obviously the T9 can't, apart from obvious huge amounts of cargo. So
I just thinking about the Python and the Mark II and things like that. When I first started playing Elite, and when I really got into the BGS, literally the only ship that I would fly for so long was the Python, because this predates crates, and it was the king of ships, and that was like the only the ship that I would use to do all of my BGS work. I started trying to learn how to do combat in a Python, and that was terrible. And I hated every second of it, and I thought I was never going to enjoy combat at all. But I spent so long in the Python that now, when it's got to points where, like, I need to do Rubigo runs, for example, for some extra engineering materials, let's face it, if I'm going to do that, I'm going to do it in a Python, because it's
the most efficient ship to
the
do
most
it.
efficient. I was looking for the word efficiency. Imagine me not being able to find that.
Imagine for me being able to pronounce it.
I know, right? But being able to using that ship, and even getting back into that ship, even still now, I'm like, I used it so often, I got so bored of it. And having more of a I'm never going to feel that way about the Corvette, just in case anybody is wondering, but having dedicated ships, or like a series of different dedicated ships with slightly different tweakable options. So like you have two ships coming out from two different companies at the same time, going, we are both here to be dedicated miners for you. We have special slots that are only designed for refineries, and this refinery has got so many slots, and special lasers and all of that kind of stuff, like what Ben was talking about. Having two come out in competition, and then having those options to have a dedicated ship would be really nice. It's a lot of work. It's an awful lot of work for a team that is currently really, really focused on ground combat, but it's something that I would love to see come back.
Yeah. Well, we're going to have to jump over to Mac, because I haven't even had a chance to ask him.
He's really passionate, Colin.
On a chance yet. So, Mac, I mean, do you think that there are space in the role roster?
It's a bit tricky. I think we've got a pretty good group of ships. More is always, it's always good. I think on the thing about the multi-role thing, I mean, that ship has already sailed, and it sailed like 20 years ago, because if you look at FFE and FE2, the ships there were also modular to a great extent. The one thing, though, that FFE and I think FE2 had, with the Imperial ships at least, where you had some ships with integral equipment. So like the Imperial Courier, which was a much different ship in those days. It was a quite large ship with like engines on pods on booms that would extend out. The engines on those were integral. You couldn't swap them out for a different frame shift drive or different grade of thrusters. You got what came with the ship.
That's right.
And I think the advantage with those was generally it was a little bit more space efficient, because you had you didn't have module slots in FFE. You basically had a mass limit, so you had to fit in your fuel and all your modules into the mass of the ship.
Yeah, and your cargo.
Rather than a fixed number of slots like we have now. And I think the ones with integral drives were probably a little bit more efficient. You could, I guess, do the same thing for mining. You could have a mining ship that comes with integral refineries, for instance, so you don't have to fit one. It's actually part of the ship. But I kind of like the flexibility of the Elite Dangerous ships, and the fact that you can have just silly builds. Like people go exploring in Corvettes, which have a jump range of 20 light years, but they've got, it's tanky and they've got all the repair stuff in the world, and they can fuel rat and all that kind of stuff. And I think with the funny thing is, we mentioned the Dolphin earlier. That went from being not an exploration ship to an exploration ship when they changed the. It wasn't. I think you're right about luxury cabins still only being able to be fit to the Saud Krugers.
Mm-hmm.
What changed about them was that their biggest slots, you could only put cargo bays or passenger cabins in them, and they de-restricted them.
Right.
And that's when all of a sudden the Dolphin, and then on top of that, with the Dolphin a little bit later, they did some changes to its heat, and those two things together turned the Dolphin into this incredible explorer, which it's almost like best kept secret of explorers, because a lot of people don't realize it, and you don't really see a lot of Dolphins on expeditions, and there should be more, because they're actually they're
really
fun. They're fun ships to fly as well. They're not they turn quickly, and they're easy to land and what have you. So it's kind of difficult to say if there's any new ships we really want. I'd like the Seiko Mark III though, just because I like the look of it. That could be one of the competitors to the Eagle.
Yeah, we were discussing that last time.
Yeah, the other point about the small ships and Odyssey, I too, honestly, my small ships have found a great use again, particularly my Courier, because the Courier's got a very special role. It's got that big, long, pointy nose, which is really good for like squishing your enemies. So when you're trying to clear up enemy personnel and you can stick it in all sorts of places, and you can sort of just and sweep it from side to side, and all your enemies go and sort of
it's like kids from the hall. I'm squishing your head. I'm squishing your head.
So yeah, the Courier, the pointy nose on the Courier is quite good for taking vengeance on your mortal enemies.
Yeah, I just have to point out from Pricky Pete, who is a first-time chatter. He sort of says, "What's your favourite ship, including the ships that you actually use?" And he says, "Mine is the Adder. I just love how it looks." Now that is a red rag to the bull to me. I mean, I know that you're a first-time chatter, and welcome to the stream, but I think the Adder should be really just used as toilet paper.
What's wrong with the Adder?
Just no. I have so much hate for that ship right now. I really do.
What did it ever do to you?
My issue with the Adder
You're probably ganked by someone in one.
Yeah, in being used as an interstellar transport is we have a Dolphin. Why the hell are we shoved into an Adder's cockpit?
Is that because a Dolphin doesn't have a passenger chair? It is basically, it's not.
Why the hell? Why can't it have a passenger cabin? And it's not like Odyssey wasn't a brand new expansion where they could have given us a cabin. Just saying.
They should have been like Apex Luxury, so you could pay a premium and go in a Dolphin or a.
Oh, can you imagine? Yes, I'm all for it.
Yeah.
Or an Orca or a Beluga, you know.
Yeah. Go a bit longer on an Orca or a Beluga. I would also like a grimy yellow small ship with beads in the cockpit chair. And a dangling Christmas tree hanging from the middle of the cockpit.
Furry dice.
Yeah.
No, you need. That's one thing that we've always requested from Frontier is to have furry dice hanging from the top of the ship's canopy, and we've never got them. You imagine if they want to make an absolute fortune on. People will pay arcs or hand over fist for those.
Oh God, yeah.
So, yeah, there you go, Frontier. No, we're not going to charge you for that idea. Just a reminder that, there's a demand. Yeah, basically the ad does remind me of driving around in a Fiat van, which was my horrible experience when I was in a band. And it made Spinal Tap seem like a documentary, and it's just, I don't know, it's really weird when I'm flying around in the cockpit and beginning to get flashbacks and you can smell the farts. It's that bad.
God.
Yes. So excuse me. Yeah, I mean, let's see. I mean, we've had a suggestion from a station commander, Alan Stroud. Remember him? He's been saying that although it's not a new technical ship, he'd like to see a suite of kind of Alliance ships that fit in with the background of what the Alliance was, which is basically purposed and recommissioned uglies, which so basically is going to be like two ships basically welded together. Because effectively that's how the Alliance, in lore, that's how the Alliance kicked the Imperial and the Federation out of Alioth to start with, by building these sort of monstrosities of ships which just happen to kick people left, right and centre. I mean, Witherspoon's also said that the actual Alliance megaships are basically just repurposed freighters with masses of guns strapped to them. So there's a kind of a nod to that kind of lore. But I mean, would you want to see half a Cobra merged with an Eagle?
I think they fixed that bug, didn't they? Where you landed on the pad and you get merged with another ship.
Yeah, they fixed.
Because we did get some
that one.
visualizations of that kind of thing. We got the mixture of a python and a crate sort of merged together into this glorious.
I would like some kind of ship bashing thing, though.
What,
like
kit
a
bashing?
a cut and shut car or something.
Yeah. You chop the cockpit of a Type 9 and shove it onto a Cobra, give it a body of a Adder, and see what you get.
So
What
basically, you're about taking the cockpit of basically a T6 and shoving it on an Adder, because that's exactly the same thing, really.
Yeah, but the Type 9 one's bigger.
The Type 9 cockpit's actually taller than an Adder itself.
I know, that's why I think it would be hilarious.
Actually, seriously, what we do need? The Type 7. It's swimming on a large pad. They need to do. How you have transit vans? You have like a tall transit van which won't go into a multi-story car park, and a shorter one that will. They should have like a Type 6.5 or a Type 8, which is basically a Type 7 with a lower roof, so it'll fit on a medium pad. Because the reason it won't fit on a medium pad is because it's too tall to go in the hangar by about half a meter.
Yeah.
It's just marginally.
Could they not just instead of having the landing gear, could you not sort of have it land, give its underbelly some skids?
or make the skid sort of half a meter shorter, so it just scrapes in. I mean, personally, I would love to see some kind of dedicated fighter craft. Fighter size craft. Like a mining fighter craft. So they would be you in your T9, and you launch your miner and this little ship that you can pilot, and you can just basically zap stuff off for your co-pilot to scoop and process. I love that kind of thing. I do feel like, Mac, we need something like the T7 shrunk down to hit medium pads. I mean, it's quite ironic, really, that the Python doesn't the Python hold more than the T7?
Yes, but the Python is a considerably more expensive ship.
Hmm. So basically,
It's
what you're after
about
is a
3
cheap,
times
horrible
price,
trader.
Yeah.
You know, this cheap, horrible trader that will fit into that price bracket. And of course, I will yet again say that we need another. I would love a large explorer vessel that's a bit elegant. I mean, I did notice on Malik VR, he took the hint from the last bit of Galnet news, saying that there was more. The Empire was building more ships. Then he's hoping for a medium class, a medium-sized Imperial Guatemala, something like the Imperial Clipper but smaller. Now, I could really go with that because that would be back to the Imperial Courier, how it was in Frontier, and yeah, that's something that I've always looked forward to.
Is there a small dedicated Federation ship?
I don't think there is actually.
I've been racking my brain and I couldn't think of one. I'd quite like a really mini Corvette looking thing, or even like a Federal assault ship looking thing, because that would be something with a nose that you could really boot people with, and not having to be in an Imperial vessel. What's not to like?
Isn't that still really the same as the Eagle, though?
Yeah, but the Eagle looks just like a Courier, and the Imperial Eagle. They all look really samey. I'd like something to look slightly different. You know, looking good in pictures and stuff. No, I'll take an X-wing. That's fine.
Take an X-wing, yes, but it's not an X-wing; it's an X-like wing.
Bring back the Harris fighter.
What was that one with the 3 nacelles? That
was the Imperial Trader. That was.
Yeah, we'll have that one then as well, because that looks different.
Chris will like that.
Funnily enough, apparently the
the
internal code name for the Imperial Cutter was the Imperial Trader.
Yeah. Which is, that's... Ah, dear, yes, that was right. And I was hoping that they'd put a third nacelle on it, but they never did.
No.
Well, it would have been even more difficult to get through the slot.
Oh, I don't know. It'd be nice if they could animate it to get it.
Yeah, no, that would be cool. It'd be really cool for it to have like something animated and drop down and move around and wiggle around and stuff. Probably even more difficult for a docking computer to get it into the slot. My bad.
Yeah, that is a sore subject at the moment, isn't it? Yeah. Can we please have the thrusters fixed, please? I've noticed people begging on the forums for that to get looked at, but yeah, well, fingers crossed. Let's hope so. Right. Does anybody have any other final points they'd like to make? Oh, is there anybody in the chat who's got an idea of what they would like? I mean, Stephen Usher wants ships with wagging tails.
Oh, like the Argent's Quest.
Why would it? I didn't think the Argent's Quest had a wagging tail.
Yeah, it did when you raised the landing gear. The tail started to wag.
Oh, right. Fair enough.
Was that just a bug, though?
No, that was by design. It did this big swoopy wag.
Yeah.
It's completely pointless, but it did this big swoopy wag. It was a really cool ship. That's the thing with the Alliance ships is you have to remember the whole Mick Turner thing. It was like they're all very refined. They were like the Mercedes-Benz of the shipping lanes.
The Alliance ones?
Yes, in FFE they were.
Really?
These days it's all like Lakon, and you know, Lakon is most closely associated with the Alliance and with their rather utilitarian and workmanlike, but really quite good ships.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying this asp. It's the first time I've explored in an asp.
What?
I'm in VR and I've got this huge bubble canopy. It's brilliant.
Yeah, it's lovely, isn't it?
He's only just discovered that now. What?
Yeah. I've never explored in an asp. So I've always done it in weird, not really exploration ships because I could. And I thought, let's try the asp. And it's actually really good. And I got the paint job on it. Yeah, that one with the wireframe mountains and stuff and the palm trees.
Yep, I've got that. There's a reason why there's a lot of asp in front of things photos, and that's the reason, because the view out of that ship is fantastic. Yeah. Right, I think we'll begin to wrap this up and have a look at some of the stuff in the community. I had noticed that Little Big is wanting a racing ship. I think, to tell you the truth, if you can engineer an Imperial Courier, that's the Imperial Courier or the Vite Mark III are really the racing ships. Oh, Psychic.
So what Little Big had been saying a little bit earlier was that he just wanted basically a frame with the cockpit and engines, nothing else, just to go really fast in one line, pretty much. And there's been quite a lot of talk, like Miggles saying specifically that he'd like more fighters and SLVs than ships, so like a big cargo van SLV, some like other like different types of fighters, mining fighters, etc. I'm all for a hover bike. That's like right top of my list. A little bit of pod racing as well would be great. And I am holding out hope for Water Worlds and living my Thunderbird 2 for the Thunderbird 4 fantasy, and having Thunderbird 2 poop out a little submarine would be great.
The Maury Starboats.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, that's what we want. I've noticed that everybody wants kind of like an asymmetric. Well, Pricky Pete would like ships which are asymmetrical, which means, you know, a bit like the Millennium Falcon, which is different on one side to the other. Which, yeah, I can see.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think. We don't have any asymmetrical ships in this game, do we?
I mean, no, but there's a lot of ships that you don't sit like right in the center of, like the Python, like the FDL, which is I really hate that about the FDL, that bloody bar.
I must admit, it didn't bother me until someone pointed it out.
Yeah, it didn't bother me either until somebody pointed it out, and
now you've got to point it out to everybody listening to the show. Well done, guys. I hope you're glad.
I make sure that I tell everyone about it.
Yeah, pass the pain on. Why don't you? In fact, I think it was you, Psychic, who told me.
Probably. Probably. Well, you can blame Kremen as well, because he told me.
Yeah, well, I'm just getting. It's one of those things that I have to block out, and I've managed to successfully block it out because I do love flying my Fer-de-Lance. I mean, that's one thing that I've always wished was that. I wish that the Mamba was closer in performance, turning speed to the Fer-de-Lance. So, you know, people you could be fighting Mambas instead of Fer-de-Lances on the same level playing field, just for a bit of variety.
Yeah, I think it's variety that we're asking for. At least I feel like there's always going to be a meta, and I want to throw that meta right out the window.
Yeah, well, that's something I think they might be looking at with the 2023 update. But well, like I said, that's just pure speculation. We'll just have to wait and see about that. So I think we'll move on to the community corner. Right. Who can tell me about Space Oddity by LCU No Fool Like One and Canon? Because I haven't seen this.
Oh God.
Yeah, I think Oh God summarizes it. Yeah, I used to really like that song until I heard this.
I watched it with a mixture of simultaneous mirth and horror.
Basically, if we played it, would we get a copyright strike?
Yes, we absolutely would.
Yes.
I don't know how he didn't get a copyright strike.
He probably does.
It's parody, but I don't know. Maybe it counts as parody. I don't know.
Yeah, well, some of the stuff that we do count as parody, but we'll still get the
We
copyright.
still get slapped for it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this is full kudos to LCU for being able to sing that song entirety in accent. But my God, it's grating.
What's most grating about it is it's slightly mistimed. It's like he's doing it over Discord. Somebody else is playing the music and he's singing it, and so it's very slightly mistimed, and it's just anyway. But yeah, I watched it with a mixture of mirth and simultaneous horror. I don't know whether it's a travesty or genius.
There is room for both.
Travesty and genius, yes. I did enjoy it, but my God, with my teeth on edge throughout the whole thing.
Oh my goodness! Well, yes, we have put a link into the show notes for this. Watch at your own risk, I think, is the best advice we can give. Next up, actually, we have a new on-foot competition coming from the Elite On-Foot Combat Community Discord. You can find this is going to be happening in... Oh, for goodness sake, why doesn't this work? It's the On-Foot Conflict Zone Tournament, 2nd edition. And it starts in November. You register at eofcc.com. It's got 3 different league grades, which is 1v1 grade 1, 1v1 grade 5, and 2v2 grade 1. Participants schedule themselves against each other for each match. There's a single elimination tournament format. There's 10 billions of credits total in the prize pool, and there'll be complete video coverage on their channel. So this looks like it's going to be happening all the way through November. So everyone is welcome to see what's happening with that. Next up.
Can I just ask a quick question, actually?
Yeah.
Was anybody else aware of the Elite on foot combat community until just now? Okay.
Yes. This is the second.
I can see you being a founding member, to be honest, Si.
No, I'm not. But this is the second one. I participated in the first one.
And will you be partaking in the second?
With my hands currently, I'm thinking not. But
although if you do have all of November, maybe you'll recover enough.
Yeah, we'll see. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun, and I surprised myself. There's definitely a meta with combat as well, with on-foot combat, especially on-foot PvP. And it was really good fun when I did it. I highly recommend checking it out.
Excellent. We were wondering whether or not we could actually do a 4x4 at some point, weren't we? With everybody teaming up on foot with the old crew versus the new crew at one point. But I think a lot of people chickened out.
It's because we'd obliterate them, Colin. That's what it was.
Which reminds me, I've got to actually get enough courage up and actually log on to multiplayer Overwatch. I'm scared to start to join in a game because I wouldn't know what I was doing.
All right, it's free to play now, so half of the people don't know what they're doing.
Right,
that sounded so much more salty than I needed it to. I'm so sorry.
I speak from experience with these things, like with StarCraft and stuff. You just got to throw yourself into it. One big thing we talk about in StarCraft is ladder anxiety, because it is quite competitive, and people get all anxious. The thing is just tell yourself before the game starts, I don't care if I win or lose. I'm just going to try and have a good time, and then just queue up the game. And then if you lose, don't panic. Just keep going until you've had enough.
I'm just scared of the noob shaming. That's all.
Oh yeah, that already happens. The funny thing is, there's in StarCraft is you tend to get there's a character called Pig. He's an Australian guy, and he's got a series called The Salt Mines. And honestly, it's real. Sometimes occasionally you're playing 1v1 on the ladder, and you'll beat someone, and they'll call you a noob. It's like I'm like, right, well, I'm the noob, yet you just lost.
Yeah, it just sounds bizarre and scary at the same time.
People come out with all sorts of angry stuff. It was like there's one he had on his one of his YouTube broadcasts. The salty player was like F your third level family or something. What's a third level family? And then called the guy an underhuman, which I thought was absolutely brilliant. I thought I got to remember that one. Next time I get angry with someone, I'll call them an underhuman.
Oh, that's it. You've got to now come up with your best elite insults.
My concern with that is it's sounding awfully similar to subhuman.
Yes,
and
I think it's some
connotations that came with.
I think it was probably someone whose native language is not English, and they were sort of literally translating what they wanted to say in their own language into
using Google Translate.
Yeah,
possible.
So they were probably typing into Google Translate subhuman in their own language, and Google spat out underhuman. And third level family.
Third level family.
But yeah, with these competitive games, you've just got to, people will do it. You just have to. Eventually, you grow a very thick skin to it, because sometimes people get on tilt, especially on these competitive games. And the worst one is if you're playing like team, like there's also team games on StarCraft, like you can play 4 versus 4 random or whatever, and your team is losing, and somebody on your team will get angry about it and start noob shaming everybody in their team. When really, well, the thing is, because the MMR system is, in reality, they're just the same. I mean, they make mistakes too. It's just they get on tilt, and so they start saying their team's useless, full of noobs, and all this, that, and the other. Whereas, but yeah, you just gotta kind of take it. Really, it's online gaming. It's going to happen.
Yeah,
somebody's going to yell noob. It's almost a given, especially in a team game.
Yeah, you're right. I'm gonna have to bite the bullet and just do it. For those of you that like the CQC tournaments, there are 2 which are organised by the CQC Discord. Every Tuesday between 8 and 6 p.m. GMT, we've got the plasma only Fed Fighters game, which is basically everybody's in an F-63. You've got plasma cannons, and that's it. Last one standing wins. And of course, on a Thursday, there is the G Thursday. It's same time, 6 till 8 GMT. They have the Capture the Flag night. Pop over to the CQC Discord if you want to join in. And of course, the Anti-Xeno Initiative every Friday do their Finance Friday. So if you want to learn how to off Stargoids and blow them up, that's the place to do it, and you'll earn lots of money doing it. So if you pop over to the Anti-Xeno Initiative Discord, they'll always post when they're running them on a Friday. Now, Psykit, this is this Saturday. Crispy Tater Tot are doing something.
Yeah, we're doing a charity stream. We're I'm thinking I will probably end up doing my section will likely be Elite Dangerous based, but it is the Gamers Outreach Spectacular Streamathon that has been running for the whole of October, and Crispy and I decided that we wanted to do something together for it. Gamers Outreach allow kids in hospital, like provide the equipment for kids in hospitals who are going through hospital treatment to have fun and play video games. They're aiming to make go-karts, which is an amazing name for it, but it's Gamers Outreach Karts, and it's Project Go-Kart, which provide recreation to hospitalized children via mobile gaming kiosks. They're hoping to raise $50,000, which can help them build a fleet of go-karts and enable as many as, and I'm reading this to quote, so I'm very careful, enable as many as 42,000 play sessions for kids in hospitals each year. It's a wonderful thing. And something that I really wanted to take part in this year, and we're doing that on Saturday. We both scare really easily, so we're going to do a joint section where we play Phasmophobia, and it's going to be the worst thing that's ever happened to me in my entire life. But yeah, if you've got some spare cash and you want to swing on over, I'll be posting information about it on socials and stuff tomorrow. We'd love to see you there and raise money for a really good cause for the kids.
Excellent. Glad to hear it. Unfortunately I'll be driving up to Scotland, so I'm afraid I won't be able to drop by. But yes, good luck with that. Right. I'm afraid that's it. We're out of stuff for the community, which kind of brings us to the Mostly Clueless section. Now, I've been scouring our suggestions. We do have a couple that we can use. If you do have any suggestions for the Mostly Clueless, basically to help people who are starting out, then we would like to hear from you. We've got a Google form for you to fill in. This one is from Epapus or Epheus, and this is very appropriate when dealing with Stargoids. When running away from Stargoids, high wake to another system. This avoids the mass lock factor from the Stargoid, which allows a quicker charge than jumping straight to Super Cruise. He also apologizes that this info is also too late for any commanders in HIP 22460, but it's also a well-known trick to use against NPCs and other players if you need to get away in a hurry, because the Grom bombs don't work if you jump doing a high wake. Is that right? Because I thought the Grom bombs did everything.
Yeah, that's news to me. The Grom bombs reset your FSD, so you have to wait for it. It's like as if you'd powered it. It reboots it, so you have to wait for it to reboot before you can start charging. And I'm absolutely certain that Grom bombs will stop you high waking as well.
Right. Well, yeah, that's what I thought. But thankfully, Stargoids don't have Grom bombs.
Yes.
Griefers might. Psyche, you have another community thing.
Yeah, there's a lot. It's happening on Thursday.
Yes.
This Thursday from 3 till 7 UTC. The solidarity with so it was the supporters of Reforging Aegis hosting a gathering to show solidarity with Sojourner.
Right.
That is this Thursday from 3 to 7. It is on the community calendar. I will include links in the notes. It is just a gathering of commanders in game. What's not to like?
Excellent. I mean, that sounds excellent news. Has anybody got any other business that they just like quickly to drop by?
I was just watching the Twitch stream there, and his Chris Mark IV's thing was like full screen, and it was him sitting in the middle of a set of 3 seats with 2 people beside him, and he was like all nice and relaxed, and the 2 people like fidgeting like mad as if they didn't want to be there. It was really bizarre. I mean, they were like, you know how sometimes if you look at yourself in third person when you're sitting down in a seat, you'll be fidgeting, and these two, they're still there actually. He's just run over, and they're still fidgeting.
Well, maybe they've just got anxiety waiting
They
for their
could be.
apex taxi because they're going to be stuck in a ladder.
Yes. Although the guy on the oh, they've stopped fidgeting now.
Yeah. So
if we all stare at them, we can make them feel awkward.
Yes.
Okay, then. I think we'll have to move on to the shoutouts. So while the team on the Dex Island are taking a well-earned break before their Series 2 return, there's still plenty of material. If you point your auto assistant to your favourite podcast app, including Spotify and Audible, and search for the Dex Legacy, you'll find what you need there. Also, there's merch at thedexlegacy.com, etc., etc. And also, don't forget, there's also Escape Velocity. That's still playing, although I'm not quite sure whether Season 2 is the upgraded one or not. I've still got to change that up with Chris. We've got our sister station, Hutton Orbital Radio. It broadcasts on a Thursday at 8:30. You can tune in at twitch.tv Hutton Orbital Truckers, or if you just want the audio, go to radio.forthemug.com. For the discerning commander that just wants a bit of CQC action, check out the CQC Discord at discord.me/Elite Dangerous CQZ. I'll give you shout outs to the following Elite Dangerous podcasts. So you can find Flight Assist, and there's also the Guard Frequency, and there's also Loose Screws. And following on from this, we do have the latest Galnet News Digest, as provided by Commander Witherspoon and Commander Beetlejude. So we'll just thank everyone who's chipped in on the Twitch chat, and the in-game commanders that have bugged the Chris Mark 4 and Ben have been Andy Sharp 42, Commander Quo, Miggles, and Nopilthrius. Which I know I just murdered. Oh, get this. I just found out that one of the people that keeps on joining my stream, I have been mispronouncing and insulting his name for the last 2 months, and only just realised.
That's standard Colin, though, isn't it? You go into a Colin stream, you don't expect to have your name pronounced correctly. You've got to lower those expectations straight away, Colin. It's fine.
Yes, so I apologise to N. Wiley and not N. Willie.
Oh, for God's sake.
So yes,
Never change, Colin. Never change.
And of course, a special thanks, of course, go to Commander Tokuso, JN Tracks, and Alan Stride, who have created music for the show. So that's it for this episode of Lave Radio. If you'd like to get in touch with the show, you can email info@laveradio.com, hit us up at facebook.com/laveradio, tweet us at Lave Radio, or you could join our Discord server by going to discord.io/laveradio. We also have a TeamSpeak server where commanders like to hang out and chat, and you can find that at teamspeak.laveradio.com. Do get in touch if you have any questions or if there's anything you'd like us to discuss in a future episode. Now, Lave Radio is recorded live on a Tuesday evening at 8:30 and streamed out at laveradio.com/live. So, thanks to Ben.
Good night, Colin.
Thanks to Psykit.
I should tell you now that it's actually pronounced biscuit, and you've been pronouncing it wrong all this time. It's not. To clarify, it's definitely not.
Biscuit.
Biscuits. Just like biscuits. That's all it is.
Like biscuit, but more piss.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That's what I would choose for myself.
Lovely highbrow conversations. Thanks to Mac Winston.
And I
No,
am,
Mike Winston.
No, I am definitely Mac Winston. Not Mark, not Mike.
You wouldn't let it go. Jeez.
No.
And it was only a month. I know. And of course, thanks to Commander Ventura, who has been our tech specialist for today.
Not a problem.
Not a problem, he says. So, So until next time, Commanders, fly safe. And if you can't do that, fly dangerous.
Is your life like this?
Sounds like someone having an orange inserted into them. Need a safe word.
Space can be low.
I'm gonna see the galaxy.
Ah, damn it. No worries, guys. Hold the fort for 2 seconds. I'll be right back.
Galnet News Digest, 18th of October 3308. We read the news so you don't have to. On the 27th of September, we reviewed the story of the Stargoid cult. This week, we look at some historical testimonies from Stargoid cult members at those sites in Etain that may help us understand how the modern cult members may be thinking. One of the major players in the coming Stargoid crisis is the Stargoid cult. Driven out of their homes in the Federation, the cult members, newly radicalised by their treatment and by the more assertive approach taken by the first apostle of the true chapter, are in hiding aboard their two megaships, the Testament and the Perdition. We haven't heard much about what the rank-and-file members of the Stargoid cult feel about their situation, but 4 years ago, the Stargoid cult went through a strikingly similar persecution, also mainly at the hands of the government and people of the Federation. Thanks to the two cryogenic waiting rooms built on Etain 4A and 4C, which were created to allow the Stargoid adherents to wait for the coming of their deity, the Stargoid, we have a number of very personal statements from some of those who are to be placed in suspended animation. These voices are surprisingly varied. If you think the Stargoid cult consists of religious weirdos in black robes who smell of ammonia and who want nothing more than to witness the destruction of humanity at the hands of their deity and then be turned into Stargoids, you'd only be partly right. Let's listen to some of these testimonies. Note that these recordings are edited. If you'd like to listen to the whole recordings in the locations they were recorded, you can stop watching now, hop in your ship and head for the Sanctum and the Prophet on the moons Etain 4A and 4C. You might even meet a Stargoid.
I greet you in the name of the Stargoid. Know that our galaxy lies in the shadow of this omniscient and most holy being. What the ignorant refer to as Stargoids are, in truth, the heralds of the Stargoid, preparing us for its manifestation. On that day, humanity will be destroyed. But we, who have heeded the truth, will ascend and be transformed. In the sacred Void Temple, we willingly entomb ourselves to preserve our souls until the Far God comes. I've instructed my fellow adherents to record their last words as they prepare for the crypts, in the hope that others may be inspired to join us.
I'm ready. I've been ready for a long time, actually. But the fasting and the trials have left me feeling lighter, purer. I was glad to come here. Most of my chapter is gone. They burned our hive chapel to the ground. Everyone I knew died.
I don't know where I am. I thought we were going to the hive chapel, but instead we've come here. Is it time? Is the Far God coming? They gave me something for the pain. Injections. Man, I've had a lifetime of injections. First it was fun, then it was necessary.
This will be awesome. I'm gonna see the Stargoids destroy everyone. Literally everyone. Ever since I was a kid, I've been fascinated by the Stargoids. I used to dream about them coming back. Then one day they were on Galnet, blowing up starports, gunning down ships. Nothing could stop them. They must have heard me praying that they'd come back.
This is for my husband, my sister, and my colleagues. I hope this message reaches you. There's something I want you to know. You're going to die, and I can't wait.
There's one thing I want to make clear, okay? We deserve this. The whole human race. We brought this on ourselves. We deserve to be destroyed. You know, we talk about our achievements, how we've colonized to the stars, but the only thing we do is spread ruin. So many worlds tainted with pollution or terraformed for our selfish needs. The galaxy is a living organism, and we're spreading through it like a cancer, destroying everything we touch.
I'm scared. Really scared. I don't know what I'm doing here. I think I might have made a mistake. On the streets, things were bad, but then the monks found me and helped me. I didn't ask any questions. I guess I wanted to be saved, and they did save me, in a way, but...
My name is Nathan Summers, and I'm an agent with the Federal Intelligence Agency, Ident 4989 Kappa Theta. I've been on a deep cover assignment for 3 weeks, pretending to be part of this cult. I was looking for evidence that they were communicating with the Stargoids or acting as their spies. At this point, I'm pretty sure they're not. But I am sure of one thing. They're insane. They really do believe some kind of alien god is gonna come out of hyperspace and, I don't know, save them or something. I've kept my cover, despite being hauled off to this remote outpost. But I've lost contact with the FIA, and these guys are about to put everyone into suspended animation.
Things have progressed. We're now at the stage where we can enter suspended animation. It's a shame in a way, as I wanted to be conscious to witness the Far God's arrival. But our herald assures me that the automatic system will wake us up as soon as it manifests. Oh, I'm curious to know what will happen. Will we keep our human bodies, or will we be given new forms, so we can function in the Far God's dimension? I sometimes wondered if the flower ships might once have been human. Maybe people from escape pods taken by the Stargoids. If so, it's a remarkable transformation. No need for crude starships anymore. We'll be able to soar through space ourselves. Well, no matter what happens, it's thrilling to know that we'll be the ones to experience the next stage of evolution. We're the future of the human race.
I wasted many years on false religions and hollow human faith. Now I worship something real, something powerful. The Far God calls to me in my dreams. It is coming.
I'm not afraid of death, because I know it isn't the end. When the Far God comes, we will experience a glorious rebirth that will elevate us to a higher plane. But for so many of my friends to have suffered at the hands of the ignorant and fearful, it sickens me. So much pain. I've had enough of pain. I'm ready for my reward. I'm ready for the peace the Far God will bring.
I don't know what's going to happen, I don't. But you know what? It doesn't matter. Even if there's nothing afterwards, nothing means no more injections. Couldn't be worse than what I've been through. Anything's better than being me.
I don't care about the Far God. I just want to get close to the Stargoids, and these cultists seem like the best bet. This is going to be the biggest massacre in history, an actual galactic apocalypse, and I'll have a front row seat.
My cruel, smug husband, my selfish sister, my hypocritical co-workers, the people who hurt me, belittled me, ruined my life. You're monsters. All of you. But don't worry about me, as if you ever did. I'll be looking down on you from witch space, laughing as you burn, especially you, Arlo. You won't be so smug when the Far God is eating your soul.
The only God worthy of devotion is one that will neutralize the human infection. I don't care if the Far God is literally real, as long as humanity is extinguished. It's time to balance the scales and let nature continue without us.
I've been thinking about my dad. I know he was worried about me living rough, but I pushed him away. And now the monks are saying we need to go to sleep. I don't understand what's happening. But they all seem so happy, so I guess it can't be bad. I hope my dad hears this and comes to get me. I want to go home.
If anyone received this message, this is Agent Summers requesting immediate extraction. Get me the hell out of here.
Not long after the cryogenic chambers were activated, the Far God seems to have decided he'd had enough of God botherers. He sent his angels, the Stargoids, round to rough them up a bit. The sites were badly damaged by the Stargoids' attacks, and for a long time it was believed that there were no survivors. But in March 3305 there was a good news story. Federal agents sent in to try to rescue Agent Nathan Summers instead found the 17-year-old runaway Kiona O'Connor in a still intact cryopod. The FIA contacted Kiona's father, and she was shortly after reunited with her family. She is believed to have been the only survivor. Ironically, after all these people lost their lives, the testimony of Gethin Okonkwo and Professor Ulyanov helped convince the federal authorities that the Far God cult was not, in fact, a fifth column for the Stargoids, but were harmless, if a little weird. The Federation dropped its investigation of the cult, and for 4 years, cult members were allowed to live in the Federation unmolested. It was the recent events in HIP 22460 that led to the cult once again being persecuted as a proxy for the Stargoids they worship. There is little doubt that the Stargod cult will play a significant role in events when the Stargoids, manifestations of the Stargod deity, arrive in the bubble in just a few more short weeks. And that's this week's Galnet News. Galnet News. We read the news so you don't have to.